Hi, I'm Hannah Buchanan. Today I'm going to talk to you about Psalm 36. The reason I've picked a psalm is because recently I've returned home from Jersey, having attended my father-in-law's funeral. While I was there, I saw my mother-in-law take great comfort in reciting some of the psalms that she had memorized over the years. It reminded me of a sermon on a Sunday night. Richard was preaching about Job. He spoke about a friend who was a pastor, and he said that his friend had put in so many years of learning from the Bible that when his young daughter was diagnosed with a terminal disease, he was able to draw on the well of peace, even in the storm. He had learnt that God and who He is never changes. Even when the storms of life are raging around us, He had really deep roots. So this is Psalm 36, and I'm reading from the NIV. An oracle is within my heart concerning the sinfulness of the wicked. There is no fear of God before His eyes, for in His own eyes He flatters Himself, too much to detect or hate His sin. The words of His mouth are wicked and deceitful. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. Even on His bed He plots evil. He commits Himself to a sinful course and does not reject what is wrong. Your love, O Lord, reaches to the heaven, your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains, your justice like the great deep. O Lord, you preserve both man and beast. How priceless is your unfailing love. Both high and low among men find refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast in the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights, for with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. Continue your love to those who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. May the foot of the proud not come against me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. See how the evildoers lie fallen, thrown down and not able to rise. When reading the Psalms, it's definitely easier to read the good and uplifting bits and ignore the rest. But I think that we can miss some of the message in the mess. We see that the psalm writer almost has two different sides to his writing. He can often start with distressing thoughts, and this will contrast greatly with the second half, in which the writer, having brought his worries to God, starts to see things from God's perspective. I know I'm probably not alone when I read these psalms. I realise I'm rather like the psalm writer. So often I see things in a rather negative light. The thing we can learn from psalms like these is to honestly bring our problems to God and to know that He is bigger than any problems, worries or fears. One of my favourite verses is in Proverbs 9. It's Proverbs 9 verse 10, and it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." This doesn't mean that we have to be scared of Him. It means that whatever we face, if we face it with God, we know that He is more powerful than anything that can come against us. As the old song puts it, who's on the Lord's side? Knowing that I'm guilty of allowing negative and untrue thoughts to float around in my brain, and knowing that these thoughts will build pathways, it can become a bad habit of mine if I then allow them to stay there. Two verses spring to mind. Take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. That's 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5. And the other one is, be transformed by the renewing of your minds. That's Romans 12 verse 2. Some ways of achieving this are by reading the Bible, prayer, and also surrounding yourself with godly friends who can speak biblical truths into your situations. I believe that we often become most like the people that we hang out around. So spending time with Jesus really needs to be a priority of every Christian. Of course, not forgetting the Great Commission as well, to go forth and make disciples of all nations. If we surround ourselves only with godly people, then we're not really reaching out to the rest of the world. So trying to get that balance right and trying to get a few really good friends that will speak truth, and not just truth from themselves, but truth from the Bible, because that is always useful for teaching and correcting and for preaching from. Anyway, I'll leave it at that and have a lovely rest of your week. God bless. Bye.